I've always been a fan of sitcoms, and two of my favorites from the 90s were Mad About You with Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt, and Seinfeld with Jerry Seinfeld, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Michael Richards, and Jason Alexander. And just recently I was watching Seinfeld, and something reminded me of just how deep the connection between the two are, and I want to take a look at it. So in the first season of Mad About You, there's an episode where Paul Buckman, played by Paul Reiser, goes to his old apartment, the one that he's subletting to someone else, and it's Kramer, it's Cosmo Kramer. He talks to him, and at the end of the scene, Paul Buckman says something like, "Hey, you ever hear about that crazy neighbor Jerry something?" It's Jerry Seinfeld. It's the characters Jerry Seinfeld and Cosmo Kramer, who know George Costanza, Elaine Bennis. That was an episode, an ending to an episode of Mad About You. Now, the funny thing about that, because I watch Mad About You all the time, I did as a kid, and that episode was like fun because it means that the two shows are in the same universe. But then there's an episode of Seinfeld. I believe it's season 7. It's the episode called The Engagement. At the very end of the episode, George is laying in bed with Susan. George looks absolutely devastated and in despair and just like he gave up on everything. And they're laying there watching an episode of Mad About You, the TV show, with the character Paul Buckman on the TV show. And what that means is that Paul Buckman was on a show. It was a character on a TV show in the universe of Seinfeld, which the character in that show, Cosmo Kramer, sublet his apartment from the character Paul Buckman, not Paul Reiser, the actor who in the universe of Seinfeld would be a real actor in the real universe. Well, in the Seinfeld TV show universe. So it's kind of like a, which one is it? Kind of a both ways. And then there's another episode of Mad About You where Paul is having an issue. If you know the issue, you know. He's having an issue and he's walking around the city of New York and he runs into Jerry Seinfeld. Now, this is not Jerry Seinfeld, the character, not the person who's friends with George Costanza and Elaine Bennis and Cosmo Kramer. This is the actor who plays on a TV show, Seinfeld, in the universe of Mad About You. And it's another one that goes both ways, and which one is the canon of the show or of both shows? I love that connection. And I know this is already kind of well known, but it's a bonus thing, and I love it. So Lisa Kudrow played the character of Ursula Buffet, who was a waitress at Riff's Diner in Mad About You. And then not long later, Lisa Kudrow played the character Phoebe Buffet, which was twin sister to the waitress at Riff's Diner, Ursula Buffet, putting those two together, which makes Friends a spinoff. Okay, if you knew any of this, you remember the shows or the characters, let me know. And this is an all three in one here. Give every show that I mentioned a rating on a scale from 1 to 22. 22 is the best. Which one is your favorite? Which one's your least favorite? Do you like those shows? Take a look at the links in my bio. The top one is very important, by the way. Please help them get to $10,000 in donations. If so, I'm going to eat a spider. Have a great day, and don't forget, nostalgia rules.